Does this sound like you? You bought into that IPO they told you was a good investment, and now you're down 20, 30, maybe even 40%. You try to buy the stocks they talk about in groups or on social media.
You've even taken a chance on the ones your advisor sends you via email.
But after 2 years, that IPO, that stock is still down.
There's a clear difference between investing and making a good investment decision. So if you're stuck, what you need to do is learn how to invest the right way.
In our Learn Level 2 program, we teach you how to build a $1 million investment portfolio. To make money investing, you need to know which stocks are right for your investment strategy, know when is the right time to buy and sell, and know how to build the right portfolio for your investment style. This program will help you invest meaningfully while making money. When you sign up, you'll get monthly guidance on how to invest and make money while doing it. You'll have a community of investors on the same journey as you to support you, and you'll have resources to help you stay on track. Join our 2026 cohort so you can get back on track with your financial goals.
All right, evening everyone. Hope you are doing well. So today I wanted to talk about NCB Financial Group. One of those stocks we've spoken about a few times on this channel, and I've noticed I was talking with a client, I was talking with a coaching client, and they messaged me before, and they're like, Jermaine, did you see what's going on with NCB? And that was when it first moved, because it was kind of hovering around the $40 for a while. They messaged me when it first, passed $50, like, hey, did you see what happened to NCB? And I was like, okay, let me check it out. We spoke about, they sent me an email about it. And, so we're talking about it. And then, of course, they've been waiting. In this case, that client has been waiting for NCB because they would have purchased, their average price was the APO price, right, back a couple of years ago. And so they've been waiting, right? When we talk about their investment strategy, etc., when we'll talk about NCB, when we'll talk about their options, it's one of those stocks that they've been waiting for. So I know they're very happy. Client, if you see this video, you'll know that I'm referring to you. Won't call any names though, of course. So let me share my screen and let's just see what's been happening with NCB, right? So this is Tuesday, July 7th. This is the price as at today. $67.94 is the price that it would end today at. And of course, we're looking at the line chart. I like to look at the year to date first. So we see it started the year at around $38, $39. And it found its way back down. I think, no, it hasn't gone down. I think the lowest price year to date was that start of the year, right? So around $38 thereabout. I'm thinking about last year when it went down to the $28. Everybody was about to freak out, and then it would have recovered from there. But this, I remember, and I'll share this quick story. I saw somebody at a meeting, I won't call their name, of course, and it was around February, March. And, we're talking about the stock market, and they say, I asked them, which stock they're looking forward to. And they say, NCB in a few months, it's going to make a move. I said, what you mean? What move is there? Because the last move would have been the whole, bond situation. We won't get into the details about that. And they're like, no, man, just give it some time. So I thought that person was just, very bullish. And so that conversation stood out to me. I hope I see them again the next time I go to that meeting so we can talk about it. But, maybe this is what they were expecting. I do have my reasons why I think the price is where it is right now. I won't get into the details of that. Right now, we're just going to look at data, right? So I'm not going to get into any deep analysis right now. I'm just going to present what's there, and then we're just going to take it from there, all right? So they would have announced 2 dividends from the start of the year. We see one here, March 2nd, and then for May 22nd. Price, as I mentioned, is at $67.94, and this is the range from well, for today, from 66 all the way to 70 in the last 12 months, the last 52 weeks, right? $27.50 to $70, right? That's what 100, almost 200%. And of course, NCB shareholders, those who are bullish, I remember I'm thinking of Dino Hines from MFS when he joined us back, I think in 2023, 2024 for our Stocks to Watch episode, and we asked him which stock he's looking at. He was like NCB. David Mullings, who was on our show last year, when we did a Stocks to Watch again, and we asked him which stock he's looking at. He's like NCB. I know. So those guys, shout out to them. So it's up 4% week to date. It's up 10% month and quarter to date. We're in a new quarter, of course, and 74%, almost 75% year to date. All right. So Dalton is asking this question: is this because of Scotiabank leaving? Again, I'm not going to get into that this episode. I do have some thoughts on as to the whole thing, but I'm going to give it some time first. But for now, I'm just going to go through just the data that we have, right? That's the purpose of this video. And so I think we have the 2 dividends, as I mentioned before, would have been paid for this year. There's that. Latest news we see here, trade by connected party. We'll check that out. The most recent results we have are for the 6 months. So I'm going to open that in a new tab. So let's see the last trade. Let's see what this gives us. So it says here the purchase of 21 million shares by a connected party, right? Of course, this is a good thing to see, right? Usually when you say purchase of 21 million shares by a connected party, then that's, of course, is usually a bullish sign for potential investors or existing investors. So that certainly was good for them. Let's see this one. This one is purchase of 2 million shares. So within the same month, we have a purchase of 2 million shares and 21 million shares. So that certainly tells that, somebody knows something, right? That's a bullish sign for sure. And then let's look at the last report, all right? So this is the 6-month numbers. I'm just going to go through the highlights because this is not a stock review, right? 10.3 billion in net profit, 7.2 billion in net profit attributable to shareholders, 260 billion of equity. What's usually the difference here? I think group versus company, if I'm not mistaken, because it says equity, and this says equity attributable to stockholders of the company, and then 2.43 trillion worth of assets and 2.96 EPS, right? $2.96 EPS. I just want to look at the revenues. That's where I want to start, since this is a quick overview. We know about the dividend already. We've checked that out. So this is the 6 months. I'm going to only focus on the 6 months, right? Year to date. So year to date here, 63 million up from 62. A net interest income, 41 million up from 38. Well, 41 billion really, up from 38 billion. So there's growth there. Looks like about 10%. The net income year to date here is 51 billion versus 78 billion. So the overall net income is lower, right? Let me see if I can tell why. So fee and commission expense here would have been up. Loss on foreign exchange gain is there. And yeah, so those are the two things that stand out to me. Can I get rid of these things? Driving me crazy here. Hold on. Can I hide this? Yeah. Anyway. So this is operating expenses. So net profit here for the 6 months actually less, right? So the way in here is saying that sentiment driving the price up because Scotia leaving. I know that's going to be the prevailing thought for most people. So we'll see, right? Because certainly it can't be based on performance, right? So performance is not the only driver of stock performance. It's one-off. It's not the only thing. And so we know that it's not based on the performance, right? We can see that much. EPS would have been 296 as opposed to year to date for March being 553. So the performance is not what's driving it for sure, but it could be. Usually when you see this kind of purchase, it's either preparing for something or this is the kind of thing that you maybe hear later on in the year or later on maybe at the next, investor briefing or something, right? But to see $2 million worth of shares, which is, let me do that math. $2 million worth of shares, if we take the $60 price point, that's 120 million, and the 21 million units at $50 is 1 billion, right? So it's a significant capital going into purchasing shares. I think that alone could have been and well, not really that alone, but that certainly would have been something that so that compared to maybe the Scotiabank situation, the overall outlook for the market, etc., are a few things that could be driving that. I want to look at the queue, so I'm going to stop sharing for a second because I don't want to share my do I use Moneyline or JTrader? Moneyline is easier to log in. Let me use JTrader because this is not sponsored by Moneyline. So let me do that. I can never remember my password. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna have to set a price alert. All right, NCBFG, here we go. All right, let's look at the queue. So this is a queue as at today. I'm just looking at the trades for the day, right? So it traded at $70. Started the day at 67. Just looking for any major orders. 27,000 units. 30,000 units here. 34,000 units. 21,000 units, etc. So I'm not gonna assume that this is related to necessarily the Scotiabank situation, only because, right? I would have to check to see, because I mean, for me, well, no, I'll share that another time, right? But I don't necessarily think it's fully related to the Scotiabank situation just yet. I think it would be another reason driving it, because unless there's a certain amount of volume going to, I can never remember this, is Scotia SJ or SGJ? Can never remember. It is, can somebody remind me, Scotia SGJ? Let me check. All right, Scotia is SGJ. Okay, all right. If it's persons taking money out of Scotia to put into it, then would have to see a certain amount of volume for Scotia, and we're not seeing that, right? So it's like, if let's say somebody has 10 million with Scotia to do that trade, wait for that to clear, put that in NCB is going to take some time, right? Especially for the institutional investors and the larger investors, etc. Now, the retail investors certainly could be doing that. Not saying that that's not the case, but just saying that I don't necessarily think it's just that straightforward, or that's the case here, right? So I'll talk about what I think is coming up, because the next milestone for them. So their next report, this one was as at March 31st. So we have the June quarter coming up. I see someone here saying that you think it's some FOMO driving the prices up. Remember, a lot of persons sold on from 100 to 32, 52-week low and $30 up, so jumping back in. I mean, certainly it could be FOMO as a part of the price going back up. No, I agree with you there for the FOMO there. I mean, we'll see. The thing is, we can't see who is behind the trades. So there's that. Paycheck says bought some at 45. So happy to see this. So you bought at 45. That means you're almost, well, you're certainly 50% up. So that's good. That's awesome for you. Think Qantas is gonna pay out a nice dividend at the end of the year. Well, let's see, because they've positioned themselves as one of the better dividend paying stocks. So that'd be something that we want to see. You can't be a dividend stock unless the dividend is attractive. Thank you for reminding me about Qantas though, because I wanted to look at them a little bit. I thought it was very kind of disappointing to see it kind of dragged out like that, but we'll see. Waiting for the first report. I don't think the first report is out yet. 9 months. Okay, July 2nd. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll check that out quickly. But the price is down 6% from listing. So on the first day it went up 5,000 units. Second day it stayed up 7,000 units. These persons who sold on these days went into profit. Rest, it's been down, right? So it's down to $18 now. And the last report, or the report, came out July 1st, right? So, and it listed on this day. So the report, yes, it's currently trading below. But the fact that NCBFG is actively reducing their debt, expected to boost their profits. Are they actively reducing their debt? I'd have to go through the report to see that. Let me have a look. Let me check the balance sheet. Liabilities. So I'm just gonna look high level here, right? So this is liabilities here. So when I say actively reducing their debts, it's 2.7 billion currently. It was 2.15. So their debt has actually gone up. Just general liabilities. Let me say that, right? Borrowed funds have gone down from that. Repurchase agreements have gone down. Customer deposits have gone up. Insurance contract liabilities have gone up. Other liabilities have went up. I'm interested in, it has all liabilities here. Okay, I'd have to go to check these out. Obligations on so I guess if you're saying the debt has gone down based on these two specifically, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, I got you. So Elevation say, why does no one ever talk about JMMB? What's there to talk about? Elevation, what do you want us to talk about? Just to talk about. I'm sorry to laugh. I'm just like, I think I might have read that differently than you meant for it to sound. I don't know. So yeah. What do you want us to say about JMMB, sir? So Qantas is, 146,000 units trading here. Elevation, dead weight, too much sell pressure from snacks. I'm not saying anything. A few of their bonds have been called and some are not being refinanced. Okay, so that must be what we're, but I want you to understand though that this, when you say their debt going down, this is billions, by the way, right? This other borrowed funds, this is 187 billion. That's still a lot of debt, right? 187 billion in debt, right? Other borrowed funds, right? And we'll see how that progresses. Now, 12 billion from 199 going down, that's certainly bringing the debt down, but there's still a lot of debt there to consider, right? Yeah, right. So this is Qantas since listing, so 1824. So remember I did a video, guys, recently about IPOs. It's just a thing where I think that the market has just been treating offers a certain way. Now, I'm not saying don't invest in IPOs. I'm just saying if you're investing with the expectation of it going up in the short term, really what we're seeing for the last few IPOs, it's the first 2 days. It's the same thing with Woodcats. It was the first 2 days, and that's it. Since then, it's been down, right? So 12,000 units traded above IPO price. That's it, right? All right, so let me know your thoughts. Why do you think NCB stock price is going up? I'll take a few comments and then we can wrap up this video. Try and keep this one short. Let me know if you have any investment questions, any questions about NCB Financial Group. Tell me why you think NCB stock price is going up. I've heard a few comments before. So some persons are thinking it's a Scotiabank. Some persons are thinking that they're clearing their debt. Some persons are, what was it? I think those are the two prevailing theories. And FOMO. FOMO is the next thing. And then, is that it? Yes, I think that's it. So those are the prevailing theories. Let me know what you think. Right? Let me know what you think. I think I can. Let me see. Comment. NCB is way undervalued. I'll use the word way undervalued. I'd have to check. I mean, it's grown 74% year to date, right? Yes, that was the third thing or the fourth thing. Those two orders, right? $1 billion essentially being purchased, right? So that's certainly noteworthy. So that would certainly be a bullish signal to see that much capital going into NCB, right? So I'd have to check to see, is 21 million units even enough to show top 10? Let me check the top 10 listing. I don't think 21 million units will. Nope. So 10 larger shareholders. Well, if it was an existing shareholder increasing their position, then we'll see it. But top 10 shareholders, let me share this. Top 10 shareholders, the lowest amount here is 30 million units. But then, of course, somebody would have had to sell for them to be able to buy. So we'll see which one changed here or which one dips to see who they would have sold from. Likely it's maybe from here that it came. I don't think it's here. The rest of these are funds, right? So maybe the 21 million units came from AIC Barbados. But we'll see who it is, right? Research in Motion Limited. Well, I haven't seen that name in a while, right? So we will see how that goes. My NCB stocks are down 52%. Even with the increase, Jovan, you're still down 52%. That means you purchased at about 150, 160. Okay, kudos to you. Is NCB a good buy? I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know. Ah, wow. Okay, that's to the grave. Wow. Okay. I plan to sell my stocks before I die. I don't this to the grave thing. I don't know. I mean, my son has his own stock portfolio. Now, if I die sooner than I planned, it's gonna go to my wife and kids. Kirk, you make an excellent point. Kirk says the funniest thing is when NCB traded at $28, the sentiment was foul. Now look at it. In fairness, though, the reality then was different, right? That issue, that incident in December is worth noting, right? But yeah. So FOMO, the market has a few decent options. Most people speculate it will be going on. I mean, it has had a so one of the things I said, and I'm kind of giving you guys a preview of what we talk about in level 2 here. What I've said to level 2 and level 3 is that I think with the notice of Scotiabank leaving, all known, consistent, and good dividend stocks will find like a new floor, right? We saw that for Carreras, a stock we don't cover, but I'll mention it here. We saw that for Trans Jamaica, new floor. It has not gone below $8. We're seeing that for NCB. So we'll see. Okay. Thanks, Tavares. So saying ASC bought over 19 million shares in Q2. Okay, nice. Okay, cool. Kirk sounds like you're up 200%. You're one of those who bought, right? So I mean, just appreciate. This is what I was saying to somebody who messaged me about this. Somebody who messaged me last night. I said to them that this is the benefit of investing. This is the opportunity you have when investing, right? Now, I'm not an NCB shareholder. I'm not planning to be anytime soon. But those who are NCB shareholders from 28 or from even $50 or $40, you're now seeing, sizable gain. It's for you to, of course, decide whether or not you want to take profit or you want to continue to see how further it can go, but showing you the benefit of being invested, right? So hopefully those who are new, just watching this, just understand the value of investing and the importance of just understanding how to do it and do it well. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to keep this under 30 minutes. So I think I can close off here. Jamaica Brothers soon join this big jump list. Okay, Tavares. I'll leave you to that. Okay. NCB was up 20% before the Scotia announcement, bought at $42. Yeah, man, it was up before for sure. It was up before. It was up before for sure. All right, guys. Taking your final comments. Once somebody heard that NCB is going back up, the chart the chart will look like a step. Yeah. So I wish you guys. I remember when I first bought NCB stock, when I just started investing in 2017, my first purchase for NCB was, I think, at a price of 110 or something like that, way back when. And I kept buying until, I think before the pandemic, my average price was 180. So when it went to 225, I was actually in profit. I don't remember if I sold. I think I sold after the pandemic at about 150. I sold back in 2021. I'm not overall bullish on the financial sector that as yet, and that's why I'm not a shareholder. But of course, I'm not crying, right? This is I think I've done fairly well for myself otherwise. But I mean, I know a lot of people right now who are very happy. I think the market investors generally are happier when NCB's price is going up. I think every investor, all of the, especially those seasoned investor, the elder the investment elders, I would say, right? So yeah. So once bitten, twice shy. I would try averaging out the stock, but it doesn't fit my strategy, so I'll hold for now. But Jovan, how does that make sense? You said you're never going to sell it. So why wouldn't averaging out the stock be what you do? That doesn't make sense. You can't say you're going to hold the stock forever until you die and not average down. That doesn't make sense. Right? So Jovan, please just understand what you're saying. You're saying that you would try averaging out the stock, but it doesn't fit your strategy, but you're going to hold the stock forever. That means you have to wait now for it to get to 100% from where it is for you to see any profit. But if you buy the same number of shares, you cut down your average price to about midway. So if it continues to go up and you lower your average price and you break even faster, you get into profit faster. So it doesn't have to get back to 100% for you to break even. You'd make money sooner. That seems logical to me. I'm not surprised that Qantas is below IPO. I mean, again, I did a video on this. You guys can check that out. All right. So, all right. I'm going to wrap up this video here. For those in level 2, we are meeting next weekend. Level 3, your hot seat is this Saturday. This month in level 2, we're going to be talking about when to buy and when to sell stocks. So if you wanted to join level 2, I know some of you are waiting for the right topic to join us. We're going to be covering that next week, Saturday, when to buy, when to sell. So for those of you who are, for example, trying to figure out, for example, when to take profit, when is a good time to sell, when is a good time to buy, we're going to talk about that in level 2 next weekend. All right. So take care, everyone. I'll see you again soon.
Does this sound like you? You bought into that IPO they told you was a good investment, and now you're down 20, 30, maybe even 40%. You try to buy the stocks they talk about in groups or on social media.
You've even taken a chance on the ones your advisor sends you via email.
But after 2 years, that IPO, that stock is still down.
There's a clear difference between investing and making a good investment decision. So if you're stuck, what you need to do is learn how to invest the right way.
In our L.E.A.R.N Level 2 program, we teach you how to build a $1 million investment portfolio. To make money investing, you need to know which stocks are right for your investment strategy, know when is the right time to buy and sell, and know how to build the right portfolio for your investment style. This program will help you invest meaningfully while making money. When you sign up, you'll get monthly guidance on how to invest and make money while doing it. You'll have a community of investors on the same journey as you to support you, and you'll have resources to help you stay on track. Join our 2026 cohort so you can get back on track with your financial goals.